You're looking at pictures of family members of passengers of Flight 370 holding a protest in Beijing, marching to the Malaysian Embassy. I'm Deborah Kahn. Joining me by telephone is reporter Brian Spegele, who's outside the Malaysian Embassy right now. Okay, Brian, obviously a lot of disgruntled family members into the way the investigation is being handled. What are the protesters saying out there?
So, yeah, as you said, the protesters this morning, they went from the Lido Hotel in central Beijing, where they've been camped out for the past 2 weeks, and they took buses down near the Malaysian Embassy, which is in the main embassy district here in Beijing. From there, they're part of the buses, and they had quite a vocal protest marching down the main embassy street, which is quite a rare sight in Beijing. And they were basically expressing their discontent with the Malaysian government, calling the Malaysian government swindlers, and calling for their family members to come home. They then entered through down a side street directly in front of the Malaysian embassy's gate, which is cordoned off by paramilitary police and all sorts of security forces, which are not allowing the journalists to enter. So for the past 45 minutes or so, they've been inside this cordoned off area, from what we can tell, holding a silent protest, if you will. For now, it's unclear what exactly their demands are and whether they're going to be meeting with senior officials at the embassy, the Malaysian embassy.
Okay, and we've heard everything from discontent over the way that the investigation has been handled. I know family members had accused Malaysia Airlines of holding back information. They've also been dissatisfied with the way that they've communicated that, they believe now the plane did crash somewhere in the Indian Ocean. Would you say most of the families are really discontent about it? Is this vocal group the majority and the consensus of how the families are feeling in China?
It does seem that way based on the numbers of folks who are turning out today to take part in this protest. I would say there was at least on the low end 100 people, 100 family members out here today, and quite a few more I would estimate. And so I think there was quite a large group who are vocally disappointed in how the Malaysian government has handled the response. Overnight, many of these family members who have organized into a sort of loose committee, if you will, released a statement expressing their frustration and threatening unspecified action against the Malaysian authorities and the airline.
Okay, and as we all know, Beijing is hardly tolerant of protests on the streets. How have they been handling this one?
Yeah, it has been. You're absolutely right, and this is a relatively rare sight here in Beijing. But what is clear is that this is quite a well-organized affair. So there were buses, city buses, prepared in the morning to take the family members from the hotel to nearby the embassy. From there, the police have very quickly and efficiently cordoned off journalists into quite a small area. And so there's nothing spontaneous about this protest. The police knew this was coming, and they've done everything they can to basically keep the protest, keep the demonstration in line, including preventing journalists from being able to interview any of those who are taking part.
Okay, thanks very much, reporter Brian Spegele, joining us by telephone from in front of the Malaysian Embassy in Beijing.